520-8388.
At Creative Gems, we believe every piece of jewelry tells a story of love, legacy, and the art of fine craftsmanship. Family owned with every detail crafted on site in Panama City, Florida, we invite you to experience more than just shopping. It's a journey to remember. Come visit us online at creativegemsinc.com or in our showroom on Jenks Avenue. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Creative Gems.
1, 2.
I'm in love with a man named Rudy. I'm okay with that. He knows exactly what I want. Keeps me coming back. Cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. Does the dishes too. I'm in love with a man named Rudy. Last name barbecue. It sure is easy to fall in love with Rudy's tasty oak smoked barbecue.
Next in line.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts in Delhi. Call 763-1627. It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lumen. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida. Let's play the game.
Sports Talk Radio will never be the same.
I just don't think that anybody's going to succeed in that system.
It's a bad organization.
It's just a bad organization.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Onion pickles, onions pickles.
Live and local.
Look, it's impressive.
On ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
What is going on, Northwest Florida? You guys are now riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. I'm David Hayes along with the Bone Crusher, and we've got a great show lined up for you today because Wrestling Against Cancer number 9 is tomorrow afternoon. So we've got Jack Patterson, who puts on Wrestling Against Cancer for 9 installments now, and we've got Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality. Kelly, how's it going today?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Man, I am doing wonderful. This time last year, we had you here in the studio as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
It looks like you've put on 100 pounds since then, in a good way, not in, oh man, you're becoming a slob. No, it looks like your personalities are growing.
Yeah, man, beef. A lot of beef.
Beef, it's what's for dinner, man. That is awesome. So no creatine, no protein. Well, obviously protein, but in the natural form.
Yeah. I try not to drink a lot of like protein. I try to just consume it more in a food base, not drink it.
There you go, man. That makes a ton of sense. Jack, man, you've been all over the place today, up since 4 o'clock in the morning. Are you excited about tomorrow evening?
Oh, I'm excited about it. I just can't wait.
Tell us what we can look forward to tomorrow night at Bay Haven Charter Academy Gym. Bell time, 6:30, doors opening at 5:30.
Well, you're going to be coming for a good cause. That's the first thing.
Yes, sir.
For a good cause to help Jaden for his cancer medical expenses. But on top of that, you're going to see a great women's match. Emily Locke and Casey Lennox versus T. Gaines and Savannah Thorne. This will be Casey Lennox's first time ever in Panama City, Florida.
Wow.
So, and she's excited. She talked to me this morning. She's excited about being here because she's never been here. So it's going to be an experience for her.
Yes, can't wait for that. That's going to be a great experience. It's going to be a great experience for us all over there at Wrestling Against Cancer 9 because of what you said there. It's all about Jaden and his medical expenses and his medical journey that he's dealing with cancer in remission right now. Just turned 16 years old, but just because you get to the place of remission doesn't mean that the bills stop rolling in. And so we're going to be trying our best to raise as much money as we can tomorrow night. We have any raffles, anything like that going on?
Yes, we're going to have, matter of fact, I picked up a Dunkin' Donuts gift card today, a Dunkin' Donuts tumbler that was donated to raffle off.
Nice.
I got a Badcock. They donated a gas blower to raffle off. I got an FSU tumbler, Florida tumbler, Alabama tumbler, and the Georgia tumbler to raffle off.
I think I got something to go along with that Alabama tumbler that we can give you here from ESPN Northwest Florida. I'll keep it a surprise so you guys can come find it, but it might have to do with hobbies and collecting.
Yeah, and we got We Wall Bait and Tackle, one of my sponsors, are bringing stuff to raffle off tomorrow, he said.
Are they going to bring any Wee Wall Wigglers with them?
Wee Wall Wigglers.
I don't know. Yeah, but he said he was going to bring some stuff tomorrow when he comes.
Hey, Chef Ross says, raffle a date with the ring announcer. We're free to do that. This is a time and age where that is free to happen. So if you want to raffle off a date with a ring announcer, as long as it's the correct gender, I think I'll be all right with that.
Yeah, but Scott Armstrong's going to be there.
Yeah,
former WWE referee and producer of WWE, and he wrestled in WCW years ago. Continental Championship Wrestling in the '80s. He was there. Bullet Bob Armstrong's son. He's going to be there to help. It's just all excited. He was excited too, and I talked to him.
Yeah, it comes from a great wrestling family, as you just mentioned right there. And Kelly Clark, who is your opponent in this particular promotion?
You know, it's a guy I looked up to my whole life, a guy that I've had many matches with, and that guy is the Cali Man. I'm excited to work. You know, me and him, we go back a while, but, you know, there's always that dark side. The guy that has the high grounds and the guy that has the low grounds, and I think Cali's at his low grounds right now.
Ooh, coming from the high grounds, it is Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality. I'm really excited to watch you guys' match as well. I really do enjoy these Wrestling Against Cancer promotions. I enjoy indie wrestling as well, just because it almost takes you back to when you were a kid watching wrestling, where you don't know what's about to happen. You know, you can't even have the predictions like you do with WWE sometimes, where you're watching these guys for a little bit and it's like, oh, but in indie wrestling and in these promotions, it's nonstop excitement. And the best part, I would say, is the crowd. And then the crowd, the way that they react to what you guys do, and then the fact that during the intermissions and stuff, they can get up close and personal with their idols.
They're able to do stuff with us that are not able to with WWE superstars. Yeah. There's going to be a kid that's never going to get to meet Undertaker, but there's a kid that's going to get inspired by Mr. Personality because there's that personal connection of meeting them.
Yeah, so you've been kind of wrestling all over the Southeast lately, haven't you?
Oh yeah, all the Gulf Coast.
Where does Panama City rank compared to other places? Keep it real.
So right now, I think Florida I feel like Florida's gotten better over the past couple of years. Yeah. I know a lot of people think that Florida is kind of on the lower ends on the wrestling right now, but it's starting to become better and better, and I feel that we're going to take back over for sure.
There you go, man. I'm excited for that. And again, you guys can join us at Bay Haven Charter Academy tomorrow evening. That's going to be at 6:30 is when the bell rings, but people can come in at 5:30. Man, and we're getting it started off with the Marie Love Battle Royale, right?
Yes. What we're going to do is about 6:15. I know the doors open at 6:30, but about 6:15, we're going to have the Battle Royal, and then go right straight into the show after that. It's because there's quite a few matches, and I just want to get them going. And at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a karate demonstration. A guy I know, he teaches karate and stuff. He's going to be demonstrating at 6 o'clock. And at intermission, he's going to be doing it.
Now, who is he going to be demonstrating on? Do you guys need a crash test dummy for that?
The ring announcer.
Yeah.
The ring announcer. There we go. You gotta earn your right to be there some way or another, right?
Yeah,
Right.
He may pull some kids out of the audience to do some things, you know.
There you go. I like
and
that.
He's got a guy he's got coming with him. I can't remember the guy's company, but his name is Jimmy Crowley.
Okay.
And some kind of jitsu, I think it is.
Jiu-jitsu?
I think that's what it is.
There you go.
If I'm not mistaken. But he's coming to do that, and we're going to just have a good time for Jaden. Speaking of Callie, where is Callie at? He's supposed to have been here now.
Yeah, man. You know how those heels go. Is he the bad guy right now?
Yeah,
they think everything is on their time and they're entitled and all that stuff. I guess he's just woke these days. Is that what it is?
Woke, yeah.
Yeah,
he thinks he's a superstar, that's for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's why we need Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality, to kind of take all of his personalities that he has that's just kind of swirling about out there and bring them down to more of a borderline single personality disorder at that point.
Well, I heard he just got married, Callie, man.
Oh, did he? We do got to give congratulations where it's due, right?
I don't.
Maybe that's what's holding him back. I don't know.
Well, see, and you've got me in a precarious position today as well because he's already. Well, no, was it? Yeah, it was Callie, man, that came out of the closet over there on 23rd Street and got me good, wasn't it?
He did what?
No, that was Preston.
Oh no, it was Preston Veston. That was Preston Veston. Yeah.
And that night, and but that's Callie, man, slapped you on the show one time.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And now you got me sitting right next to him, or slated to sit right next to him. And man, I'm gonna have to keep my hands ready today, Jack.
No,
yeah,
I ain't been in the gym as hard as Kelly Clark has, but you know the right hand is still strong, right? We got to keep that strong, even though I would need the left hand to be working for me this afternoon. But yeah, I'm excited about this event tomorrow afternoon. And again, you said we've got all kind of raffles going on, great matches, women's matches, and a great time. And then is this the final match of the night? Is Callie and Kelly the main event of the evening?
No, they're going to be probably about a match or so before intermission.
Okay.
Because Kelly's got to leave. He's got to go down south.
There we go.
He's got a seminar to go to.
All right, man. You got a seminar to go to?
Yeah, Jay Lethal seminar. So I'll be leaving a show probably around after intermission, mingle with some of the fans, and then I got about a 5-hour drive ahead of me. So I want to get most of it out the way.
I have a bunch of questions lined up for you guys in 5 o'clock, and it's just kind of questions about wrestling from the WWE, some of the best factions and stuff, kind of learn a little bit more about you. But tell our listeners now, like, what is the training regimen? Not just like what do you do in the gym, but this is a tough sport.
Right.
Regardless of what people want to think, I've been in the ring. I've seen you guys, the bumps that you got to take, the cuts that you guys get, all of that good stuff. What does a training regimen look like for a professional wrestler?
So for me, I go down to the Kangaroo Ranch. I go about 3 times a week. I'm trying to go more, but I feel like it's a lot of cardio. You do a lot of cardio, and it's a lot of footwork and a lot of like getting the times down. It's all about timing and footwork.
Yeah. Man, timing and footwork. What would you say of those two is the more important attribute?
Timing. Timing's it.
Man, and one little thing that if you're off by 1 millisecond, that's the difference in injury and a successful move, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's like Rhea Ripley. She had to relinquish her title all because of her shoulder getting thrown out of place from taking a post. And it's like, like little tiny things that you wouldn't think hurt.
What was your feelings on WrestleMania?
Which part?
Let's go with day one. How did you feel about day one?
It wasn't as good as day two, but that's a given. But there's always matches that are better than other matches.
Yeah.
So I feel like they did decent.
Were you happy with Cody Rhodes finishing the story?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you think he makes a good champion for WWE?
Oh yeah. Like people, they're not even giving him like time. It's like they're already like, oh, he's not really doing anything with his title, so they're not really giving him time.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the start of a new era for sure. I feel like Cody's going to be the guy that's going to bring us into a whole new era of wrestling.
There we go, man. I'm excited about it. We've got plenty on Wrestling Against Cancer 9 this afternoon. Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality, in the building with us. We should have Cali Man. I guess maybe he's traveling from California right now. Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
I mean, the audacity, honestly.
He should be here already by now because he'll be here by tomorrow night. He should be here already somewhere.
We need to make this like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, like a little bit of a bet for each minute that you're late. You're going to have to pay a fine for that.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at 12 minutes right now, so we'll go with $1 per minute. So that's $12 Cali Man's going to have to throw into the Afternoon Underdog stash right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You guys can call or text us at 850-215-6290. We did have the NFL draft last night. You big NFL football fan?
Not particularly. I like contact sports.
There you go. Who would you say is if you were to have a favorite NFL team, who would it be?
All because I'm friends with her. I'll have to go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. Is that
that's T Gaines' favorite team.
Yeah, there you go. Excited to see her again this year. Now she's in a tag match with Savannah Thorne taking on Emily Locke and Casey Lennox.
Yep.
That is going to be a great match, and a few of those wrestlers have been featured on AEW before.
Yes, Casey Lennox and Savannah Thorne.
You know, before I dive into the NFL draft, what is that process like? How do you end up finding yourself in one of those promotions? Would you say that that's up there with, what sport would you compare it to? You doing the indie thing, doing the like smaller promotions, and then getting into an AEW or WWE? Is that a huge jump, like college football to the NFL?
Yeah, that's what I would compare it to. Yeah. That's what I was about to say. College football to the NFL for sure.
Yeah, man, that's and I'm sure it's a tough process because how many? There's a lot of wrestlers.
A dime for every person. There's a dime.
There's a lot of wrestlers that never make it.
What's it take to stand out, Jack? I would say a personality is at the top of the list, right?
Yeah. Not to make his head swell a little bit, Mr. Personality, but he reminds me of me a lot back in the day when I was his age and stuff. And I was just coming up, like he's got the heart and passion for it.
Yeah.
That's the ones that usually make it, the ones that can have passion for it.
Yeah, and that's what you got to have, right, is the passion. Because if not, then would it be fair to say if you're not out there wrestling with passion, you're doing the fans a disservice?
Oh, yeah. If you got to want it. If you don't want it, step out the way. Step up or step out the way.
Step up or step out the way. Hey, Bone Crusher, if you wouldn't mind opening up that door for us. Cali Man, I think, is ready to pay his fines. But the NFL draft from last night, Falcons taking Michael Penix with the 8th pick in the draft. Now, Jack, you're a Buccaneers fan, Jaguars fan?
I'm a Dolphin fan.
Dolphins fan. I knew it was one of the 3 teams from Florida. How'd you feel about the Miami Dolphins and their draft pick last night?
Honestly, I didn't get to watch it last night.
Okay.
I didn't get to watch it. I don't know who they got. I didn't even heard. I've been so busy. Yesterday, I was doing a lot of stuff for the show, and it's been so busy, and I don't know who we really got.
Now, the Dolphins were sitting there at 21, I believe. They ended up taking Chop Robinson, defensive end, out of Penn State. So a really good pick. Jared Verse ended up going to the Los Angeles Rams, and I think a few Dolphins fans were hoping to get an edge rusher there and really hoping that it was going to be Jared Verse, specifically Kyle Wright. He mentioned that yesterday on the show with us. But the most surprising pick in the draft last night, Michael Penix going number 8 overall to the Atlanta Falcons. And the biggest question here is, what kind of faith do the Falcons have in Kirk Cousins? Not his ability, but the Achilles tendon. That's what he injured last year. Are they a little bit worried about that, or are they trying to play the long game here with Michael Penix and maybe mirror what the Green Bay Packers are doing over there with Jordan Love? But it didn't start there with Jordan Love. You had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers learning under him, and then Jordan Love learning under Aaron Rodgers, and it's proved to be a successful recipe. So that could be what we're seeing here out of the Atlanta Falcons. But to give him $100 million guaranteed for the next 2 years, he's got a 4-year deal. It was wild to me seeing Atlanta take a quarterback right there at number 8 when there's some needs on the defensive side of the ball that they could be focusing on, but they didn't go that route. We were at St. Andy's last night watching the draft. We had a little bit of a draft party over there. That's down there in St. Andrews. Great location to watch the draft last night. It was a lot of fun, thanks to Tho and Tyler Bishop. But yeah, everyone in the bar last night, whenever they announced Michael Penix was the number 8 overall pick, everyone was like, what is going on? Why are they doing this? And there's still not a good reason. I think a lot of Falcons fans are out there trying to justify it. And maybe if they are playing the long game, maybe this could end up working out because you're looking at 2 years of Kirk Cousins before you try to deal with, before you move on with Michael Penix being the front runner for your franchise. And that's a good amount of time to be able to sit behind somebody. But then on the flip side of that, you've got Michael Penix, who's had 2 ACL injuries on the right leg. And so to me, that's kind of a big factor there when if you don't take him, what ends up happening? Broncos, Raiders might end up taking him. If not, maybe he falls to you on your next pick. Doubt it, but it could have happened. But there's other quarterbacks. Why not sit around and wait a little bit for a Spencer Rattler, see where he's going to end up falling. So that was very wild for Michael Penix to be taken with the 8th pick in the draft to the Atlanta Falcons. Tonight, this evening, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, after the Afternoon Underdogs, the Atlanta Braves hosting the Cleveland Guardians. First pitch tonight at 6:20. We're going to have Logan Allen going up against Chris Sale. The Braves were off yesterday. They are in first place here in the National League East, and the Guardians are in first place in the American League Central. High school softball from last night. Arnold shutting out North Bay Haven 7-0. Bozeman over Mosley 12-4. Bay shutting out Malone 16-0. Wakulla over Liberty 11-3. Ponce de Leon beating Chipley by 4 runs, 9-5. Mariana taking down Sneeds 13-2. Bluntstown with a big win of their own over FAMU 14-2. Freeport beating Vernon 8-1. Holmes shutting out Jay 6-0. FSU High School losing to Franklin 9-6. Baker beating Paxton by 3 runs, 6-3. And then Niceville with a win of their own over West Florida by 1 run. That score was 5-4. In high school baseball, Arnold answers back, so Bozeman and Arnold split. Arnold getting the better of Bozeman 5-4. Destin beating Bay 9-3. Rutherford takes down Fort Walton Beach 6-1. Bluntstown over Monroe 18-3. Holmes beating Cottondale 11-7. What's that?
Cottondale's my hometown.
Oh, man. But, hey, it's just one game. Just one game. You know, there's plenty of games in the sport of baseball. Port St. Joe beating Weewaw 11-1. Chipley over Franklin 4-1. Niceville taking down Choctaw 12-3. And then Ponce de Leon with a win over Rocky Bayou 11-2. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. You can like and share the Facebook feed and page and follow us over there on Twitter. Then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download the app and register all at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back, I'm going to be talking a little Major League Baseball with Sam Peebles, and we might have a man from California in the building with us. We'll be right back. This is the Afternoon Underdogs.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday afternoon. The rest of the day, some sun and 79 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south around 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 70. Tomorrow, a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, mostly cloudy, and a high around 79. For Sunday, mostly sunshine and a high of 78. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
This 53-man roster is stupid.
Where it's halftime all the time.
Raise the rosters, you cheapskate owners, and get that done now.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back here in the doghouse riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with the Bone Crusher, and we've got a great panel of guests in the building with us today representing Wrestling Against Cancer number 9. We've got Jack Patterson, we've got Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality, and we've got Cali Man, the champion of Wrestling Against Cancer. He's got that belt with him. Cali, man, we've got a guest on, but I got to give you a little bit of time. How's everything been going, man?
As you can tell by the gold around my shoulder, that has been going normal. As in successful for the Cali man.
Talking to the mic.
Oh, here we go.
We're starting to be that far away from the mic, but all right.
You just show up when you feel like it, Cali?
Well, that's what champion is good to do. You pay me, I show up whenever I want, pal.
There it is.
All right,
that's how that relationship works out.
All righty then.
This is your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. The Bravos are back and leading the division. You can listen to the Braves in a rich audio experience all on your favorite devices. The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Sponsored by Brock's Pest Control. Store more portable buildings. Billboard Kia, Mid-South Lumber, and PCB Hobby. Now welcoming on to the line with us. I don't have a phone number for you, do I? So I will... Hey, Sam, if you're listening by chance, do me a favor and text in to here. You could just take this and maybe bring that back to me. Sorry about that. Poor planning just has you ready, prepared to fail. So we're going to continue on here with Wrestling Against Cancer 9 for a few moments. So your opponent sits across the table from you. I'm not your opponent, so no smacking the host today, all right? Can we can we shake on that one?
Bygones can be bygones.
Bygones be bygones. All right, I'm in the middle here. I am Switzerland for this, but what's your plan for your opponent this coming Saturday?
Well, in years past, which I've been at every Wrestling Against Cancer show, as you well know, I'm usually pitted against a veteran, somebody of Jackie status, a veteran in the business, some of them semi-retired, some of them, just legends in the business. And, and I stomp them all out. That's what I do best. But this year, I think they're throwing me a curveball. They got a young up-and-comer who took a lot of inspiration from me, if he wants to tell the truth about it.
Oh, all right, that's true.
He's already relayed that info.
Well, I mean, usually he lies, so I'm just trying to clear up the airs. I wasn't here for the first part.
I'm the one that lies, all right.
I got a lot of places to be, being the champion. I'm an important man around town. I'm a man about town. And this year it's a curveball. It's a younger guy, but not a better man.
There you go. Well, we've got Sam Peebles on the line with us. He is the creator of the Braves Dugout podcast. I'm really excited for Wrestling Against Cancer 9. Again, you guys can get tickets right there at the door at the Bayhaven Charter Academy Gym. $12 for adults, 6 through 17 get in for $8, and 5 and under get in free with a paid adult. Doors open 5:30, bell time 6:30. But now we're going to be talking with Sam Peebles, creator of the Braves Dugout podcast. Sam, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Man, we are doing wonderful this afternoon. We've got some beautiful weather, and we've got some nasty rivalries here in the building with this afternoon, but we're going to ease into those as the show goes on. But the Baltimore Orioles already optioning Holiday back to AAA after going 2 for 34 at the plate, 18 strikeouts and 36 at-bats. Man, what do you think about Jackson Holiday being sent down already?
I mean, I understand why. the Orioles, they're fighting hard to win their division, so it's not like they're a rebuilding team and they can just let him figure things out. Every game matters, and it's unfortunate because he's number one prospect in baseball. I was real high on him, and he seems to not be adjusting to the major leagues very well. So I think it's time it makes sense for them to send him down, get more at-bats where the pressure's off some, and just work on some things down there rather than hurting the team that's trying to win their division against a very competitive Yankees team.
Yeah, that's a great take there. And with you being in the business of sports card collecting, or at least in the hobby of sports card collecting, what do you think? How does that affect his value for his sports cards?
I'm sure it'll take a temporary dip, but if he has the talent that everyone thinks he does, it's only a matter of time until the value comes back up.
Do you think this is a good time to buy a lot of Jackson Holiday?
I would give it a few weeks to let the prices drop some and then buy them up. Yeah, I agree.
Who's been the most surprising rookie on that, or surprising young player on that Baltimore Orioles team this year?
Oh man, that's tough.
So many to choose from.
Yeah, so many to choose from. That's a fact. I'm gonna have to go with Cowser. I mean, he's just been really impressing me, and that's who I'm going to go with.
Braves have a tough schedule ahead of them. What do you want to see from this series between the AL Central leading Cleveland Guardians?
Well, I just want to see, the Guardians are really hot right now. What needs to happen is the offense needs to be hot, because it's going to be a low-scoring game, most likely, among both teams. The Braves obviously have a better offense than they do, but the Guardians, as always, has solid pitching. And the Braves this year have gotten a bit lucky with their hitting, if I'm being honest. I mean, they lead the league in batting average and things like that, but a lot of their stuff has come against the bullpen late in games, and that cannot, that's not going to sustain with the type of bullpen that the Guardians have. So they need to score runs, and they need to score them early.
There you go. And are you gaining confidence in the Braves rotation without Strider? Max Fried just had his first good outing of the year, getting a Maddox complete game shutout in 92 pitches against the Miami Marlins. Reynaldo Lopez has yet to give up more than one run in his starts. Are you gaining some confidence there in the Braves rotation?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think, no one could have guessed how good Reynaldo Lopez was going to be. If you said that you thought he was going to be this good, you're either lying or you just said that so that you could say you were right later but didn't actually believe it. It's been really impressive. And then Bryce Elder came up and showed that he's been working hard. The depth is just what makes me excited. No rotation is going to be better with Spencer Strider gone, but the Braves have that depth. And honestly, the beginning of the year, I just did a deep dive on it on the podcast, but the rotation in the bullpen, actually, if you look at their underlying metrics, has been really unlucky. So even if they were to pitch like they have for the past few weeks, their ERA would eventually drop just because they've had a lot of bad luck. So just the fact of that alone, they're going to continue to get better. But, when you see guys like Max Fried go out there and pitch a Maddox, his third career Maddox, that's obviously something that can make Braves fans get really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is now third in career Maddoxes for the Atlanta Braves. Tom Glavine coming in second with 5 career of those particular type of games pitched. And Greg Maddux had 13 of those for his namesake. Sam, I want to dive into let's go to the bullpen real quick. How are you feeling about the Atlanta Braves bullpen?
Oh, I'm loving it. Raycel Iglesias is a guy had some crazy weird stuff happen with those weird bounces last game, but AJ Minter and Joe Jimenez, those two guys, they keep flip-flopping between who has the best expected ERA in Major League Baseball. So, and this is expected, which means, they're pitching well. That's not luck. That's like they're pitching extremely well. And those two, if those are your number 7 and number 8 guys, 7th inning and 8th inning guys, and you've already got one of the top closers in the league in Raycel Iglesias. The bullpen is amazing. If Tyler Matzik is your worst bullpen guy, you're in good shape.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're on the line with Sam Peebles. He is the creator of the Braves Dugout podcast. Let's start ourselves a Sam Peebles power ranking. For this week, we'll just do the top 5 teams, and then moving forward, let's try to get your top 10 teams of each week as we progress through this season. And it's very early on in this season. So let's start with the top 5. Start at number 5, work your way up to 1, or if you'd like to, hit me with an Uno reverse and go 1 to 5.
You know, it's really funny, I got to say, because just so everyone knows that's listening, David does not send me, a lot of times he doesn't send me, like, what questions he's going to ask me. So
shoot from the hip,
like
baby.
Shooting from the hip. And this is one of those questions. And I was just thinking earlier today, I was like, you know what would be really fun is if I created some power rankings. So this works out great. I think I'm going to go number 1 to 5, though, if that's
all right.
okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, number 1, I'm going to go with the Braves, obviously, just because of they've got the best record, or they flip-flop between the best record in baseball. They've got the most complete lineup. They just on paper got the most complete team. That one's pretty up there. And then number 2 is obviously the Dodgers. I'll take the Dodgers over the Guardians, even though the Guardians have been playing out of their minds. Number 3, I'm going to go with the Guardians right now, just because you can't take away how well they've been playing recently. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Yankees. And number 5, I'll go with the Orioles.
All right, so 2 AL East teams represented there in the top 5. Which of those teams do you think has the let's look at teams 3, 4, and 5, Guardians, Yankees, and Orioles. Which of those teams do you think has the best chance of remaining in your top 5 for the majority of the season?
I'm going to say the Orioles, just because of how young they are. Their chances or their odds of having a ton of injuries are much lower. And in a long season, youth is really important because you're going to have a ton of injuries. And the Yankees have shown over the past few years that even though when they're all healthy, they're an extremely good baseball team, they have a lot of injuries to a lot of key players based on age and things like that. So I think just based on injuries alone, that the Orioles have the best chance. I also don't think the Guardians are going to be able to keep up this pace of play. It's fantastic what they've done, but I just don't foresee them continuing this toward output.
All right, so that is Sam Peebles' Power Rankings. The Peebles Power Rankings. I like that. That's got a good ring to it. Number 1, the Braves. Number 2, the Dodgers. Number 3, the Guardians. Number 4, the Yankees. And number 5, the Baltimore Orioles. Do you think with the numbers that Marcell Ozuna, the Big Bear, is putting up right now, you think he could possibly vie for the most valuable player of the National League?
I'm going to say no. That's not a knock on Marcell Ozuna because he's playing out of his mind. He's easily been the best hitter on the Braves. He's arguably been the best hitter in Major League Baseball. But the thing is he plays DH. And, I mean, it's been years since a DH has won MVP. And it's because voters are starting to realize how important defense is. And when you only play 2/3 of the game, it really hurts your chances of winning MVP. I mean, he'd have to have like an Aaron Judge season from a few years ago, and even back then, Aaron Judge played defense, but he'd have to have a season like that to even have a chance. And he will have downvotes. There's no doubt in my mind if he was to continue to hit like this. I mean, he might be in the top 3, but I just don't see. I don't see voters giving him the votes because even guys like Mookie Betts, last year. Remember the argument last year? Even though Acuna won unanimously, there was a lot of talk about Mookie Betts, getting votes because of his defense. And we're in a day and age where analytics plays a big role in voting and things like that. There's more and more voters that look into analytics and defense and things like that. And so I just don't. Even if he continues to hit like he's hitting now, I just don't think he really has a true chance to win.
Does that same narrative still run for Shohei Ohtani?
Yes, I think it does.
All right. We'll move on here. What do you make of the struggles that we're seeing from Matt Olson batting, .218, I believe, going into this evening's ball game?
Yeah, it's really concerning to me. He's got like a 106 OPS plus, which is 6% better than league average. But that is terrible if you're looking at the standard for Matt Olson, if you will. And I thought, maybe, just maybe, he's the type of guy that starts off slow every year. Well, I looked back at the past 3 years, and the March-April time frame has been his best month, first or second best month every single year for the past 3 years. So he normally starts off really hot, and this year he's starting off really cold. So we can't look at it and be like, oh, he's just one of those players that starts off slowly, unfortunately. So he's really going to have to pull back on the strikeouts. I mean, when he makes contact, his contact is still top. Like, it's elite when he makes contact, but he's really struggling to make contact. So until he can start actually making contact with the ball, he's going to struggle. So it is a bit concerning.
This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're chatting with Sam Peebles. He's the creator of the Braves Dugout podcast. Sam, and who would you say has the best rotation in all of Major League Baseball?
Oh, man. That is tough.
That question came to me because we had, I forget who it was that I was chatting with, but they were saying, the Phillies with that 1, 2, 3 of Nola, of Wheeler, and then Ranger Suarez, they might have the best rotation in all of baseball. I think it was Kyle Wright who said that yesterday afternoon. Would you say that it's the Phillies, or is there another team that you can point to and have them right there in that same vicinity, same tier?
Yeah, it's funny. I was on a podcast the other night, and we had this conversation, and the Phillies definitely have a better rotation than the Braves, and I really do think, like, Zach Wheeler does not get enough love. The MLB Power Rankings came out, and he was ranked number 1, but you don't hardly hear anyone talk about Zach Wheeler. He's been one of the best pitchers every single year for like the past 5 years. Aaron Nola, he struggled early on, but he's getting better again. And Ranger Suarez has got to be the most underrated starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. I mean, he could be arguably the best left-handed pitcher in baseball this year. The Phillies, and that's only the top 3. Then they got more guys. They got Michael Lorenzen and other guys in there too that can make some starts. And I gotta say, I think Kyle's right. I think it is, no pun intended, that the Phillies probably have the best rotation. At least they do today.
Give me a team that's underperforming in the American and the National League.
I'll say that the Rangers are underperforming. The talent that they have on that roster last year was no luck. They are a very good team, and if and when DeGrom comes back, obviously they'll be a lot better. But on the American League, I would say that the Rangers are really underperforming.
And
the National, go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. National League.
Okay, I'm going to say National League. Probably the Reds. I just thought the Reds were going to be better. They're not bad, and Ellie De La Cruz has been electric. You know what? I take that back. Let's stay with the National League Central. Definitely the Cardinals.
Yeah,
the Cardinals for sure, no doubt in my mind. I mean, I didn't think that they'd win the division this year, but holy cow, I did not expect them to struggle like they have. And of course, they've had injuries in their rotation, but still, I mean, this start that they've had has not been good.
Well, next week when we have you on, we'll go over some of the teams that are overperforming in each league. We'll catch up on your power rankings and talk about some of the latest things that you've talked about on the Braves Dugout podcast. Tell our listeners everywhere where they can listen to your podcast.
You can. I'm on the Braves Country Cooking Feed, the Braves Dugout podcast, and really anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever, it's on there. You can just search Braves Dugout and you'll find it, hopefully.
All right. Hey, Sam, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. We look forward to chatting with you next week, my man.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
That's Sam Peebles. He's the creator of the Braves Dugout podcast. He also does a lot of content for a lot of other publications, if you will, and a lot of it revolves around the Atlanta Braves. But we're going to take a quick time out, and when we return, we're going to continue on with Wrestling Against Cancer number 9. Keep it locked in. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Mark, what do you think about that? Breaking news, Reggie Bush is getting his Heisman back. What do you think about that? That's fine. That's fine. I guess it's been long enough. Well, they put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, really.
Amen. That comes under the heading of I don't give a you-know-what. So.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday afternoon. The rest of the day, some sun and 79 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south around 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 70. Tomorrow, a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, mostly cloudy, and a high around 79. For Sunday, mostly sunshine and a high of 78. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Creative Gems, we believe every piece of jewelry tells a story of love, legacy, and the art of fine craftsmanship. Family owned with every detail crafted on site in Panama City, Florida, we invite you to experience more than just shopping. It's a journey to remember. Come visit us online at creativegemsinc.com or in our showroom on Jenks Avenue. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Creative Gems.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290.
I'm sure that most of you have used a dial telephone before.
The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back into the Doghouse. This is the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with Bone Crusher, Jack Patterson, Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality, and the Cali Man, the Wrestling Against Cancer champion. And he's got that gold on him. Jack's got a little silver and gold on him as well. Kelly, what are you going to do to get the gold away from Cali Man tomorrow evening?
Well, I'm going to do exactly what I always do, and that's take care of business. Callie knows that I'm a tough competitor because he might not say it, but the Pride title, he only beat me one time for the Pride title, and that was a floozy, but I won it straight back, and that title's coming home with me.
Every kid gets lucky every now and then. You know, the dad lets him win a few basketball games in the yard, you know.
Yeah.
Lets him hit a home run when he throws him a softball pitch, and that's what happened.
This ain't basketball or softball.
Oh,
this is a man's sport. We ain't swinging sticks, and we ain't shooting for hoops.
There you go.
But one thing I'm going to be doing is shooting you down when it comes to wrestling against cancer, and I think you know that, son.
No, buddy. I don't think so.
Mano y mano, and that's going to be tomorrow night. Now, does it flatter you, or does it kind of tick you off that he has followed in the footsteps of your gimmick?
Well, I don't mind. I know I'm the best, and for other people to recognize that, it's not like I don't suck like the Braves or some of these other teams around here, the Seminoles, anybody like that. But so I understand it, I guess is the best way to put it. It doesn't really upset me. I mean, you're never going to be the Cali Man. You're never going to reach those levels, of course. You're just a young man with a big head on his shoulders that needs to get a little deflated by the Cali Man.
Well, I know one thing for sure. People know Ric Flair more than they know Buddy Rogers. So that's exactly how this is going to go.
That's a solid point.
There we go.
Solid point.
You better be careful talking about the nose over too, by the way.
Oh, what's that little rinky-dink belt you got around your waist there, by the way?
This belt right here is going to be it's going to be a match between Chief Little Bear, and Billy Sharp for the Florida Heavyweight Championship.
There we go, man. That's going to be a heck of a match as well. I remember when I was young and watching Chief Little Bear back in the day. Kelly Clark.
Yeah, who's going to wheel him out there for that match, do you think? Is it you? You got to be pushing the chair so he can make it out to the ring, get it done?
I hear you.
I hear you. That's like, you're not going to buy into the trash talk there, Jack?
Little Bear could walk circles around you.
Maybe back
very slowly.
Very slowly.
Well, he's had his time.
That's true, and now it's mine.
Actually, it's mine. Your time's passed. How old are you now?
Hey, don't worry about that.
Yeah, ain't you like in your 40s or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far.
I got a question.
Here we go.
Who in the world wanted to marry you? I heard you just got married.
Congratulations,
Kelly,
realistic.
Well, after I turned down Kelly's mom. And then
here we go.
And then your sister came up to me a few years back and was hollering in the Cali man's ear. But he was like, you know what? I'm gonna be faithful to my beautiful wife Anna, who I did get married to on the 24th. Just more celebration for this whole week and this weekend that's coming up for the Cali man.
There we go.
Bless her soul.
Bless her soul.
What do you got to say about him talking about your mama like that?
She don't date guys with fake hair color.
Oh,
that's me. It doesn't die, ain't it?
Hey. You'll understand one day when you're married, son. Whatever keeps them happy, you got to do.
Whatever keeps them happy.
The hair color might be a little fake. I don't mind the grays, but for the wedding pictures, it had to be done. But I know one thing that's not fake, and that's this championship belt around my shoulder that's not around yours.
Oh, I know one thing that's not fake either, that it's going to be around my shoulders and it won't be around yours.
Your shoulders, you got weirdly broad shoulders for a skinny guy. I will give you that. They're way out there.
What do you think of the last year around this time? He was a little bit smaller. He was around kind of my size, and now he's buffed up.
He's bulking up. He's probably on the juice.
Is that what it is?
If I'm a guessing.
Are we going to find you on the Balco report?
He's so angry. He's such an angry young man.
Look at my face. Am I like the most angry?
You take his shirt off, it'd probably look like a road map back there with the mountains on it.
Oh, man.
Mark McGuire of the professional wrestling scene.
Man.
Probably need to get on the juice, buddy.
Oh, not at my age.
Not at his age. Might find more raisins than anything else there. Yeah. Oh, man. So how did you end up coining Mr. Personality?
Go ahead and tell him.
Yeah,
tell him how you came up.
How big of an influence was Cali Man in your role?
How do you think of these things?
Yeah, how did I think of it? Well, I was laying in my bed one day and I was like, dang, Mr. Personality sounds cool.
Yeah.
No, so Cali, when he first started, he was Mr. Personality and he had a basketball. And it's weird because Kelly Clark, he had a basketball that he called Clark. So it's kind of weird that just the way that history works.
It all comes together.
So you had a basketball named Clark, so something like Tom Hanks
it was like
volleyball?
Yeah, it was around that. It had to have been 2005, maybe 2006, and that was big. Born. And there was also thank you.
Yeah.
There was also Al Snow was a wrestler, very famous, and he had his mannequin head that he would talk to, and so I played off that and wore a mask and played that character that was given to me until I outgrew it and I became myself. And now I'm just me. I was the Cali kid for a while, and then I got over 30, and I figured it's time to stop being a kid and it's time to start being a man.
That's a late time period to start deciding stuff.
Cali, you should have kept the mask on, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Have you ever seen a basketball get over more than Cali Man?
The basketball was more popular than me.
The basketball was more popular than him.
That's what's good about the Cali Man and why I'm the champion and why I'm a champion everybody can be proud of. Because unlike the gentleman over here across from me and right over here to my left, I tell the truth. I admit my faults.
Yeah.
Like most professional athletes will not do that. They'll say I'm the top of my game and everything, and they should be long retired, like Chief Little Bear. Or they're like, I'm at the top of my game, and they're 16 years old, like Kelly Clark over
16, here. 16, I'm 18 now.
So much older and wiser than us. And it's just a matter of at least the Cali man can admit his faults, and that's why I feel like when people look up to me, much like he did, and much like Jackie did. They look up to me and they say, that's a champion I could be proud of, the Cali man.
The Cali Man, a champion I could be proud of. I could just see that on a slogan somewhere, maybe a T-shirt, maybe a red hat, something like that. A champion you could be proud of.
That just sounds like too much pride. Way too much.
Pride goeth before a fall, so there is that. That could be in your favor there, Kelly Clark.
Yeah, my service tower is way bigger than my ego, that's for sure, and that's why that title's coming home with me.
So you named yourself after a basketball?
No, I didn't. So when I was younger, I used to have my own backyard ring, and I put on my own backyard shows.
I remember this.
Yeah,
yes.
And so I was coming up with names, and I was like Kelly Clark, and then me and my buddies, we were like, that's just what it stuck with. So when I got into it, I started off as Kid Cyclone, but I was like, I hate that name. And then I was talking with my buddies, and they was like, just use Kelly Clark like you did when you was a kid. And I was like, oh, I will. And then I was training one day at the Kangaroo Ranch, and then Mr. Dandy Jack told me, he said, hey, you got some personality. And I was like, hey, Mr. Personality. And then it comes out that
Yeah, I was already Mr. Personality.
He was already Mr.
years
Personality.
before that. I would definitely never be Kid Cyclone, though. I can tell you that much. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. It is.
Hey, but you rode with it for a little while, right?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere, and then that's what you can build and build and build from there. What have you thought of his upbringing as a wrestler?
I think he's on the right path. I can admit that. I think he's taking his wrestling career very seriously. I know that he's looked into schools to better himself as a wrestler, much like I did when I was a younger man. And he started a lot younger than me in the pro ranks. So he has more time on his side, but it's just not his time right now, is my point. I'm not trying to bring the guy down. I'm not trying to, mess him up. I'm just saying that, like, there's no chance. There's zero chance. It's like the Braves winning the pennant. It's not going to happen. There's zero chance this kid beating me in wrestling against Cancer 9 and taking this title off my shoulder. Maybe in 10 years.
Maybe in 10 years?
Maybe,
you'll be
hopefully
28.
his other knee don't give out by then. Hopefully.
They'll have surgeries by then. I'll have, like, RoboCop knees.
It's going to be like Conor McGregor out there kicking guys at the head of their head.
You have to have 3 knees to beat me. I
Your
promise you
wife's
that.
in mediums.
Oh, man, now he's going straight Conor McGregor on you over here. Man, so I was going to say, what have you thought of Cali Man's career? But you've also you thought a lot of it, right? Because he's one of the reasons why you are where you are today, right? As far as name-wise.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Cali's... He's even won it, the best wrestler on the Gulf Coast. There's no doubt. I travel to like Tennessee and stuff, and people know who Cali is. But Mr. Personality is making a name for himself as well, and I can promise you that I'm going to surpass Cali in many levels.
Do people ever come up to you and ask if you are Cali Man? Like, man, did Cali Man get younger?
It's funny. Someone made a post the other day and was like their favorite wrestler, and then someone said AKA Cali Man, and they was like, no, this ain't Cali, and they was like, what? So yeah, there are some people that mistake it, but.
Or they think he's my son. I get the son thing a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, father-son duo. That would be pretty cool.
And Jackie actually used to another wrestler named Chuck. They thought Chuck was his son for a while there. I remember that too. Or wasn't it proven he was your son? There was something weird like that going on with you.
You had like an Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio thing going on there?
Yeah, I guess they'd say that. I guess they'd say that. But I don't know, Callie. But did Callie tell you how he wins championships? Did he ever tell
Callie,
you?
how do you win championships?
He cheats.
You cheat?
Hear me out.
All right, let's listen to this.
Here we go.
If you cheat in wrestling, you get disqualified.
Right.
So that's the only way to prove that you were cheating in wrestling. True or false here, Jackie? You're the veteran. You cannot win a belt or a title via disqualification. Right. So how would I have this title if I legally cheated to win it? Now, if the ref didn't see what I did, now if I can put a little spit on a baseball and throw it at you,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If I could slap my own thighs, I go up for a layup and say you fouled me.
If you could deflate some footballs.
And that referee didn't catch it. Exactly. If I Tom Brady you, guess what, buddy? I'm going to do it because that's what's going to keep the belt around my shoulder, the Super Bowl ring on my finger.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's scared. That's what it sounds like.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, you
I'm
look
not
scared.
nervous at all.
Why are you shaking?
What are you talking about? I'm not sweating. You're sweating.
No, I'm not sweating.
I feel like this is going to culminate into something a little bit larger, Jackie. If something ends up happening, we're going to need you to get in between these guys this afternoon because I want to save all the good stuff for tomorrow evening since I'm not going to be throwing anyone through a table in this particular event. But hey, that's why we let him buy guys.
I slapped the taste out of your mouth. You put me through a table. I feel like that's even Stevens.
I think that is even Stevens. Now I didn't have to eat any dog food afterwards.
Well, that's good.
That was good, man. Great time tomorrow night. What's one of your favorite things about the Wrestling Against Cancer shows?
Well, obviously, even though mostly I think about myself, of course, and I'm willing once again to admit that because who wouldn't think of me if you were me?
Yeah.
Most people think about me and they're not even me. So you know how much I think of me. But let's move beyond that. It's really about cancer and helping the person, whoever it may be, over these. There's been 9 different ones with the 9th coming up, and we always It's about really helping them. And, of course, I want to win my title, and that's the most important thing on my mind. But also, like, I would love to see 1,000 people show up, 2,000 people show up. Let's get Bay County out here. That way that we can raise some money for this person who needs it because they have cancer. My dad passed of cancer. Cancer affects all of us. I'm sure everybody in this room or everybody in the world has at least one person you know that has some kind of cancer or is fighting cancer right now. I'm not going to say anybody's name, but there's a wrestling brother of ours who's fighting cancer right now. And he's keeping it under wraps to himself, but it's a very hard-hitting thing.
Well, it's been put on Facebook, you know that.
Yeah, but I'm not, it's not my place, I don't feel like it's our place, but I'm just saying, prayers to him, and if, it just hits home, I guess is my point. So, of course, me being number one, if we're going to do the Cali Man Power Rankings.
There we go.
We're going to go with me at number one is the most important thing, of course, the champion. And then number two would be, the cause, the cancer. Number three would probably be, like, anybody associated with me.
All right.
Like in my general vicinity, my close circle. And then that's probably the only three important things I could think of, to be honest with you. So that's my 3 power rankings right there.
Well, but the difference between Cali Man and me, I want to raise a bunch of money for this young man.
Yeah.
Cali wants all them people there so he can gloat in front of them.
There you go.
And I know
Cali's going to pass out an offering plate.
That's why he's going to lose. Hear me out. I know I get my cut from the funds, and I should probably give it to the kid.
Right.
But I need my money, too. I mean, I'm important.
There you go.
I'm an important part of this. You don't slap my face on the poster and I just give up all my money into charity or something like that. I'll tell you what, though.
Well, it devalued the poster.
Yeah.
It did. Look at it. Look at that. Look how old he is. That's not even a colored photo.
They had to go black and white on him. We're going to keep this rolling here in hour number 2. This is the Afternoon Underdogs here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, y'all call in 850-215-6290. Talk to Cali Man. Talk to Kelly Clark. Talk to Jack Patterson. Talk to us, the Afternoon Underdogs. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 9.
Saturday, April 27th at Bayhaven Charter Academy. In the main event, it's a tag team showdown with Exodus versus Mike Steele and Mr. 850. Plus exciting women's wrestling. Tickets still just $12. Ages 6 to 17, only $8. 5 and under, free.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday afternoon. The rest of the day, some sun and 79 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south around 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 70. Tomorrow, a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, mostly cloudy, and a high around 79. For Sunday, mostly sunshine and a high of 78. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing KHS TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. All your local favorites. Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC. Plus, catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks. ESPN, the NFL Network, and the NBA Network. It's more than just sports. KHS offers 50-plus movie channels, 150-plus entertainment channels, all your favorite news networks, and watch thousands of movies and TV shows on demand. All for just $40 a month with a one-time $2 billing fee. And you can watch up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score KHS TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the TV logo. That's ESPNPC.com and click the TV logo.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. It's the Afternoon Underdogs.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Weekdays from 4 till 6. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back for hour number 2 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 here in Panama City and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. We're the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with the Bone Crusher, and we've got the Wrestling Against Cancer champion, Cali Man, in the building with us, along with Jack Patterson and Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality. Man, excited to have you guys in the building with us here for this final hour of the show, final hour of the week, and then Wrestling Against Cancer number 9 tomorrow night, April 27th at the Bay Haven Charter Academy Gym. Doors opening at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Tickets are only $12, and I think we're going to give away 2 pairs of tickets today. So we're going to give away a pair of tickets at 5:40. We're going to take the 10th caller when we announce it going into that break, and then we'll give away, how about a pair of tickets right now?
Yeah.
All right, so the 10th caller, 850-215-6290, you're going to be getting a pair of tickets to Wrestling Against Cancer 9, and you'll be able to watch this bout right here. Cali Man, Kelly Clark. This is going to be a great one. I would say it's going to be one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. But then again, I look forward to the whole card and being able to announce all of you guys and then see. One of my favorite things is being able to see the excitement that Jaden is going to be having tomorrow evening.
Oh, yeah, that's what the night's all about. It's all about Jaden. We're all going to be there for Jaden as much as Callie likes to think it's about him when it's really not.
I mentioned the kid. I didn't know his name, but I mentioned it was about the kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's this free ticket thing, too? Like, is this ain't coming out of the Cali Man's pocket?
No. We'll take that out of the ring announcer's pay.
There you go. That's fair.
You couldn't afford it even if you tried to.
Oh, yeah, I could. No. I could buy and sell the whole place if I needed to.
He's got that Dollar General polo on.
They got ESPN called me earlier. They're like, hey, what would it take, Callie, to sign you an exclusive ESPN contract?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm not for sale. That's why I told him.
We did the contract negotiations did go a little bit longer there, but the whole premise of that was that you were going to be here at 4 o'clock, and then once you show up at 4:12, 4:13, don't even come into the control room.
Do you know how many radio shows I was booked on today, and I decided to come to this one?
None.
How many television appearances I canceled just to be right here for ESPN?
None.
For you, my friend?
I'm going to say over under 3 of them.
Well, I mean, that's close. That's probably a little over.
Over?
Yeah.
Well, Callie told me today, I ain't coming on TV spot. They ain't worth seeing. That's what he told me.
They ain't worth seeing, or the camera wasn't going to stay working.
Yeah, he didn't want to break it.
They said, he says, these people ain't worth seeing me.
No, yeah.
Until tomorrow night.
At least this place has cred, is the way I felt. ESPN, that's a name right there, ESPN. That's sports, Cali Man's sports, Cali Man's a pro. And I was like, that's the place to be. News people, what are they fake news on there talking about the weather and stuff? Nobody can predict the weather. Don't listen to them.
Callie's a CNN type of a guy.
Yeah, I don't watch any news. The Cali Man gets all of his news from right here. Okay.
Cali Man's news.
I got it all figured out.
Oh, look forward to the power rankings coming next year. This is going to be a great time. I'm excited about this. Cali Man's rankings, what were they? Number 1, the Cali Man. Number 2, Jaden and the cause of the show.
The kid.
And then number three is anyone in the vicinity, anyone who's in the posse of Cali Man at that point.
Right now, we shook hands earlier, so I think you're in, my friend.
Man, I'm in a tough position right now, Kelly Clark, because I'm sitting over here next to him, and I don't want the taste slapped out of my mouth again because I don't have any tables. I don't have anyone that I'm in cahoots with to be able to drop them through any tables.
He's going to use you for what he's going to use you for, then he's going to kick you to the curb.
Used and abused and disposed of at that point.
Speaking of Wrestling Against Cancer, and this is a good little story I think we should get out in the air, and let's just be honest with each other here. What was your first Wrestling Against Cancer experience there, Kelly? Do you remember that? Can you remember?
I won. I won the Battle Royal at my very first ever Wrestling Against Cancer. I beat Callie, and then the ref didn't see it. And then Callie hopped right back in there, tossed me over, and got my cigar.
So, in other words, you did not win the Battle Royal. My point is this, though. When I first heard there was I think, how old were you at that point?
15. It was my very first. It was my very third ever event.
So the Cali Man heard that there was a 15-year-old kid showing up who thinks he's a wrestler and he's a tough guy or something like that. I didn't know anything about him. I'd never met him before, and they come up to me and they're like, "Hey, Cali, break his legs out there."
Yeah.
We don't need some kid messing up our, it's a very protective thing.
They got
wrestling.
They got to have a gatekeeper.
Yeah, there's a gatekeeper. And of course, the Cali man's that man. I'm the go-to guy. That's why I'm the champion, why I'm the pro. And I was like, sounds good. I'll break his legs. And I've never told him this before. This is legit here.
Oh, I like this.
I was like, I was going to break his legs because he's disrespecting the business. He's getting it too young. There's always kind of a rule of thumb of maybe training at 16, but you don't go pro till you're 18 years old.
Okay.
But then he shows up, super young, and what's he do? He comes up to me, says, Callie, you're my favorite wrestler of all time. You're the reason I wanted to get into the business. And he breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I have a heart, a big old heart. Doctors say it gets larger every day and harder.
The Grinch.
I'm so healthy. They actually use the word enlarged and rigid, which is probably not good, but I feel good. But anyway.
Blue and yellow pills for you,
So I was like, you know what? I went to Jackie and I was like, Jackie, I'm not going to break his legs for you. It was him, by the way.
Oh, it was Jackie, yeah.
I don't believe what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't.
And he said, hey, I was like, let the kid in the battle royal. He deserves a chance to prove himself. It's his third event. It's his first Wrestling Against Cancer, probably the biggest show of the year ever since the WrestleMania of the Gulf Coast, kind of his hit or miss, which used to be a big show. This is probably the biggest show of the year. And I was like, let him in the battle royal. Kid deserves a chance. So he gets to the battle royal, and he does. He gets all the way to the final two. And it's me and him. And he throws me over the top rope. And what happens? I catch myself with my ultimate athleticism.
Ultimate athleticism.
1 foot might have scraped, but 2 feet have to touch.
2 feet got to touch, yeah.
So what happens? A rookie 15-year-old mistake. He goes a little too early. He thinks he wins, and he starts celebrating. He's just elated that he beat his hero, the Cali man, not realizing I'm still in the ring. So I threw him over the top ropes and made him pay. And yes, I got the plaque. I got the cigar.
My cigar. He smoked my cigar right.
You're 15 years old. What you didn't need a cigar for?
I could have sold it.
I could have sold
it.
That's even worse. Yeah, you got to sold it to your school buddies? That's real good.
Hey, I got some buddies that are willing to deal.
Yeah. See, that's the type of people he hangs out with. That's what you want as your champion?
That's the personality you want to see your kid reflecting upon?
No, but he might have been young. But you know what? That goes to show that he was a lot better at that age than you were.
Yeah, you didn't say yourself that I started earlier than you, so I'm going to have way more experience.
That's true. That's true. I mean, there's no denying that. I didn't start till I was about around 19 years old. So, I mean, no matter what, you're always going to have some more years on me. But let's face the facts. I mean, you could have studied me from the day you were born, and there's still going to be tricks that I know that I'll never teach you.
What, like how to use a walker? Like,
oh, yeah. Well, no, that's Chief Little Bear. We already discussed that.
Chief Little Bear.
Oh man, what's the longest that you've been in the ring for a battle royale?
You go first. You probably had less than me.
I don't know. Probably maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes. That seems like a long time to be having to maneuver around. What about for you, Jack?
For me?
Yeah, longest you've been in a battle royale.
Well, a lot of times.
It's 2 days. It's just a little marathon. No big deal.
Jackie don't like battle royals. He probably didn't hang around too long there.
When I first started in the business, I was young. I thought I knew it all.
How old were you when you first got started, Jackie?
Well, 1986, I started training.
I'm not doing
1987, 1987, my first match.
Wow.
Kelly's looking around like, are those real years on the calendar?
I was born in 2005, man.
Well,
not me.
I got some age on me though. I got some age and I got some wisdom. I got some.
How long did you last? You're losing track here. How long did you last in the battle royal? What was the longest you lasted? I think I know, but I could be wrong.
Well, there's a few times I eliminated myself because I didn't.
I know. That's why I said I know you don't like them. Do you remember this one though? In Chipley, Florida, there was a 2-ring battle royal for what was the place? It was Come on, they used to have TV over there in Chipley.
Rolex Center.
Yeah, but what was the name of the promotion? Come on.
AWF.
That was it. AWF, American Wrestling Federation. They would have a 2-ring battle royal. They put 2 16x16s or 18x18s up against each other, and they would book everybody from around. They were talking about 60 competitors. And when they got down to the final 15 in each ring, then they would combine it up and there'd be one. So those battle royals, if you were in from start to the end, almost like I would be, for example, I'm pretty sure I spent close to 45 minutes in a battle royal before. Jackie, you had to at least that one time when you were the runner-up, had to spend 30, I would say, at the minimum. So
at one time I was young and I could do it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you think that the indie wrestling, the promotions here in this area are that we're doing as good of a job now as what we were doing maybe 10, 15 years ago?
We're doing way better.
Way better.
I'm telling you that right now. There's still a lot of, I'm just going to come right out and say it, trash promotions, because I'm not afraid to take the heat for it. They can come with the Cali Man if they really want to.
Are you going to put a stamp on it?
No, I'm not going to say who it is. I'm just not that kind of guy, because they're just trying to
get some promotion.
Yeah, but they're trying to do their thing, and I ain't one guy to come in here and not, just because I'm not affiliated with them or never will be, doesn't mean that I'm going to trash them like that, because they're still a business trying to make money.
All right.
And I'm not, once again, Cali Man missed his own faults, but he's got a heart of gold. Big old heart, the doctor says.
Big old heart.
He's
getting bigger every day.
Getting bigger every day.
You know why he's talking about him, don't you? Because they won't use him on their show.
I don't want to be on their show. Anyway, on a real note, though, and Kelly's a traveling man. Actually, he probably travels a little bit more than the old Cali Man does nowadays. But there's a lot of wrestling's hitting a boom period nationally, and when it hits it nationally, a boom period, the ripples can be felt all down to indie wrestling. So there's a lot of good ones that are still running. New Heights Wrestling runs all the time. They
one of probably the longest running promotion around there.
Wow.
They went through the hard times, and then now they're putting 250, 300 people almost every show over there in Defuniak Springs or in Freeport. Mm-hmm. And there's just a lot of little pop-ups like that. They're really doing good stuff. There's wrestling in the mall in Dothan like every week. I mean, they're able to run every single weekend, and they're hit or miss, with the crowds. But I mean, they're constant. And they're consistently delivering. Guys like Aiden Pierce, who's great over there.
Good guy, yeah.
And
I started training with him.
Yeah, see, so I mean, he knows more about that. But I'm just saying, that when it hits a boom period in the national sense, it's really probably, like they said, wrestling's cool again right now. It ripples down to the indies.
Can y'all feel that when you're in the ring? Can you like everyone's been eating up wrestling on TV, and then they come to these shows, and it's just you feel it when you're in the ring.
Oh yeah. Then you got the guys that try to do the stuff they see on TV. They don't like being original, so you can just tell. And fans know it. They're like, "Oh, what are you trying to do, buddy? You're not that guy." So it's definitely a big effect on wrestling.
Well, there's a lot of better independent wrestlers than there are in WWE, my opinion.
Okay.
There's a lot, I think, it's a lot better.
Well, it depends what you like. I mean, WWE is cinematography. It's cinema. It's the movies. It's it's presented like that. So necessarily, are there better in-ring athletes on the indies? 100%.
Right.
But that's not what WWE is pushing for.
They want to make money.
They want to make money. They want to, like I said, when the lights went out at WrestleMania at 40 and The Undertaker popped out behind The Rock. It wasn't because The Undertaker's the best in-ring performer at this age in his career. It's because it's The Undertaker, and you wanted to see it's just the feeling of that nostalgia.
Yep.
And that entertainment. That's what he is in WWE. It's the entertainment. There's not really too many I don't think that I can think of one independent promotion that has entertainment in their name.
Nope.
They're all wrestling. Because yes, you grind your teeth, like Jack said, as wrestlers, and you become better in-ring performers, and that's what indie wrestling is more about. It's about delivering in the ring, and not necessarily for the cameras, but for the live crowd that's right there, because a lot of them don't have cameras. So it's a one-time deal. I've had probably 1,000 matches that aren't recorded anywhere.
Yeah, if you connect more with the fans on a personal level, I think that outweighs any type of moveset that you have or any in-ring ability.
Well, the fans make you, though.
Yeah, exactly.
People in WWE forget where they come from sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of them forget.
That's what makes wrestling such a unique sport compared to like baseball and things like that, I guess, because, I mean, you go out there and you could be hammering Hank Aaron hitting a home run every time when he goes out there and have no personality whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the fans maybe the fans hate you in this city and they love you in another.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect your game. You're still hammering Hank Aaron, knocking him over the fence.
Yeah, Bret Hart liked the country. Bret Hart was hated in America, loved in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's a matter of in wrestling, you have to have the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you're an individual out there performing, but you have to have that people, whether it's against you or for you, wherever they feel. And, like I said, it wouldn't be the same without people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Baseball could be the same sport, really. You wouldn't take away your great pitcher, like I said, Greg Maddux. There's no way he'd be a worse pitcher because the people aren't there cheering him or booing him. He would still be Greg Maddux.
It's like during COVID when UFC was doing the fights with nobody in the audience.
It just felt weird, didn't it? Yeah. It's fighting sports like that, combat sports, boxing, UFC, wrestling. You kind of require the fan base because that adrenaline kind of pushes you through. And I'm sure that's like that in regular sports too. But it doesn't. Michael Jordan's not going to be any less of a basketball player. LeBron James isn't going to be any less of a basketball player.
Yeah, because the competition is right there on the floor.
Yeah,
who you came to beat is right there on the floor, and it's the same way in the mat, in the squared circle, if you will. But also, what is the one thing that what is the passion for in wrestling? for the pops, right?
Yeah, it's the adrenaline you get from the crowd control. And and like when you do something and you know that they're right there, and the Jackies, I'm sure, felt it. I know you felt it. Anybody who's a wrestler or a performer in general, maybe even as a radio DJ, when you know something's going so well and you have that audience right there, it's just a feeling like no other. It's like Kelly Clark's friends. It's almost like a drugs they do.
It's all about being able to take their emotions and change them on the flick of a dime how you want them to.
Yeah.
I can go out there and make them love me. I can go out there and make them hate me. So it's just like that feeling knowing I have the power.
I hate you right now, so I understand what you're saying.
I hate you too. Everybody hates you.
No, they don't.
Nobody sees the Cali. Every time they see Cali, everybody turns around. It's like, oh, it's him again. And then we turn back around. I hate
nice
Cali.
to my face. That's real good.
Yeah.
Who do you think the crowd wants to see win Saturday evening?
They're morons.
They're morons.
So we shouldn't, let's not weigh too much on their opinions. They're like, Brave fans waiting for a big championship win. It's probably, they're like, oh, it's going to happen. And then they get beat. They get slammed out as soon as they get to the World Series like they have so many times in the past. And it hurts. I know. I'm sorry. I know you're a Braves fan, but the truth hurts,
Break it.
Well, that's why I hear a lot. It doesn't bother me. That's music to my ears, I can tell you that. But obviously the fans are probably going to be rooting for the man across the table from me. And I use the term man very loosely.
I don't blame them, though, for going across the loosely man. I don't blame them for cheering for him.
Well, here's the thing. If they want to cheer a winner, they want to cheer a champion.
They need hard hearts if they're going to be.
Yeah, if they want the guy with the biggest heart, literally, not figuratively. The doctors keep warning me about it. I'm like, the bigger the better.
Do you have a heart?
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
It's huge.
Doctor tells me all the time. It's getting bigger all the time.
You know the reason why it's so huge? I know the reason.
Because it pumps a lot of blood, my friend.
Because it pumps a lot of blood.
I'm full of blood. That's all I'm full of.
Full-blooded Cali, man.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
What's your favorite city in California?
I'm billed from Long Beach because I never actually lived in Long Beach, but Long Beach was I love going to Long Beach. I'm actually from the Valley, so I'm a Valley kid. But it's tough to beat Hollywood, bro.
Tough to beat Hollywood.
Hollywood's the glitz and the glam. I mean, it fits the Cali man's personality, the superstar. I actually got Cali man on a little mountain at my house right behind there, just kind of like the Hollywood sign. Can't miss it. The city keeps,
I think you really do have.
The city keeps telling me to take it down, but what are they really going to do? They're not going to do anything to the Cali man. I run that city.
How long did it take you to build the mountain?
Oh, I had people build it. I told them I'd pay them, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you your money." I haven't seen I don't
think that's exactly how it went down.
How do you think it went down? What's your perception?
Nothing involved with Cali was how a mountain was built. That's for sure.
That's why I said I had other people do it. I promised them pay, and then when they came time to pay, I said they were trespassing and had them locked up.
You called ICE.
It's a fair thing. Yeah, ICE. See you later, guys. Just like that guy who was 2 for 34 you mentioned earlier. You're like, oh, should he go back down to the minor? Yeah, get him out of here. What are we 2 for 34?
What were you saying earlier? You were.
I played some quadruple A ball back in my day. And I was a pitcher, and I had the most hits for a pitcher. Did you know that about me?
I did not.
Not with a bat. I mean, I hit the other batters with my ball, beamed them, as they would say. And I hit a few too many. And then when I started purposely hitting the coaches, though, that's when they had enough.
Throw it to the other dugout over there, like,
like, Cali, man, we don't play like this. And I was like, well, I was taught in the penal league.
I was taught in the penal league.
Yeah, you need to go back down to the penal league.
That's where I cut my teeth.
The longest base path. So right here with Cali, man.
I've lived a heck of a life, I can tell you that. But that's something that an 18-year-old wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
And maybe you're starting to understand as a young man. That I know you understand as being a little older than me. But when you live such a full life like the Cali man has, and then you look over here and you're like, there's nothing. You just came out of your mom not too long ago, and then you're telling me that you're going to beat me in Wrestling Against Cancer 9. I've done all 9 shows. How many shows have you done?
Let's see. I started, Wrestling Against Cancer 5?
It was in Bonifay. It was his very first one.
5.
Oh, I was there for that one.
I'd only done 5 by then.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Well, fighting legends like Cobra.
It ain't about the quality. It's about...
The quality? Yeah, I hear what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it ain't about the quality. It's about the figure that you put in there. It's the heart.
I know you kids don't understand this. There's this thing called a dictionary that has nothing to do with Google. It's where you look up words like quality and quantity, so you know how to say them. I would probably look into that. Little encyclopedia.
Yeah, he was on the encyclopedia train.
Yeah, that's right. See, I didn't have Google to run my life for me. I lived a real life. You know, I mean, I was fighting moose up in Canada when you were born.
Fighting moose in Canada? I was fighting off Mariana kids in Cottondale.
Oh, that's tough too. That's tough too.
Yeah,
I've been there. I understand.
You don't want those problems. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be right back talking more Wrestling Against Cancer 9. Holler at us, 850-215-6290.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike 3.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the east, some clouds, and 69. Some clouds tomorrow morning, about the same at 78, and a wind out of the east-southeast around 14 miles per hour. In the afternoon and evening, partly cloudy and a moderate breeze right around 14 miles per hour with a high of 78. About the same at 79 Sunday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The road is yours, so let your spring adventures begin and discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and check out our 2024 SUV family and take a test drive. See all the new features that elevate any adventure. Now offering 4.75% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento EX. You'll get that rugged good look with luxury and the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by anytime and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento EX with $2,294 per month per 1,000 finance and 48 months quality limit. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must-take delivery from dealer stock through 4/30/24.
Now back to the most dangerous afternoon show on terrestrial radio.
It's dangerous, it's dangerous,
It's illegal in 5 states. The Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. Bone Crusher, were we able to give away those tickets, or are we still looking for some more callers here?
We are still waiting for caller 10. But since I am on mic, if I may, I've been sitting back here quietly listening to this egomaniac.
Kelly.
No, he's talking about you.
Run his mouth, talking smack. And I got to say, I don't like this guy at all.
Nobody does.
I don't like him.
Listen on Stonecutter.
If it was a Saturday night, I think I'd want to hang out with this guy.
Oh, yeah, Saturday night.
You just won me over. Stone Crusher, right?
Bone Crusher.
Mr. Crusher.
Mr. Crusher to you. That's
Bone
right.
Crusher. That's right.
See, there's a smart man. Somebody who understands that I got an ego, that I'm a champion. I kind of have a right to have an ego.
Yeah, that's true. You got the gold.
Is there anybody who's been a real champion who doesn't have a little bit of an ego? Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah, good point. P. Diddy.
I probably wouldn't go with that one. Even the Cali fans got to shy away from the Diddy.
Yeah. No Diddy? Is that what you say?
I would not want to hang out with him. I don't think. I'd rather hang out.
This guy was defending OJ the other day, bro.
I do drive a white Bronco.
Okay, so you're in cahoots, kind of.
Well, I mean, if he needed a ride, if the man were alive, let's not forget he was a great rusher. But here's the thing. I do drive a white Bronco. It's not in memory of him or anything like that. But the kid's got to say anything he can to make me look bad.
What's the name of your Jeep?
Huh?
What's the name of your Bronco?
OJ.
I figured it was going.
Like he said, it wasn't in a
But that's it's because when I first got it, I had a big cup of orange juice with me.
Yeah,
and I was like, hey, it's a cute name for a Bronco.
That's a cute name.
This kid's trying to paint me bad. He's painting me into a corner here. This is
I'm
not
telling
true.
the truth. I'm unlike the Cali man. Mr. Personality tells the truth. He tells it how it is.
There's so many lies on the air too. There should be like in court. If you lie on the air at ESPN,
Yeah, we're going to get you with perjury.
Perjury.
Oh, yeah, they got you, buddy. They got you down.
Yeah, no. I only tell them. Whoa.
Oh, there they come. Yeah. Hold up. We're getting swatted right now.
They have no right to search me or my vehicle.
There you go. Yeah. They might find some gloves they didn't want to find at that
No, they definitely are going to have probable cause as soon as that window rolls down.
I ate some Whataburger before I came. There's some ketchup on the door there. That's all that is.
That's just a little bit of ketchup. Oh, my goodness. So let's learn a little bit more about you fellas. If you could meet any wrestler of all time, all history, who would it be?
We're going to have such similar answers, I'm sure, but go ahead.
I like these.
Let's see.
I have a feeling yours is going to be yourself, Cali, man.
I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Shawn
HBK.
Well, I would definitely say Shawn Michaels because I've already met Ric Flair, and that would be the only other one that I probably would have had on there. And so, yeah. But like I said, me and for all the differences.
Yeah.
Me and the kid, we're the same kind of wrestler in reality.
Does that intensify
He models a lot of stuff out in a way because now, like, I'm the old lion who's watching this new lion kind of start taking more and more of my territory.
Yeah.
And it's Yeah, turn that thing off, man. We gotta go. This is a professionally ran program. I'm about to slap somebody else in this room. It ain't gonna be you. Anyway,
there we go. I'm safe for today.
But anyway, like
baby.
I was saying, as an old lion watching, or even an old baseball player or anything, you see this new kid coming in, and he's pitching better than you, or he's hitting better than you, and he's younger than you, and you know it. No matter what you do, he's gonna have a longer career at this point than you.
Okay.
Because you're already to that point in your career, and it's almost like, oh yeah, the new shiny toys here. But let's not forget, you got an Etch-a-Sketch that's still a pretty fun toy.
No, Etch-a-Sketches are not fun toys at all.
So you got the Xbox now. Well, the regular Nintendo deserves a little play every now and then.
There you go.
Duck Hunt's still pretty fun for those who have a tube TV.
Duck Hunt is not fun. I ain't never hung out with anybody and they was like, hey, turn on that Duck Hunt. I ain't never.
What?
You see,
I'm a Duck Hunter fan.
Boom.
Now, the old Super Mario Bros., that's a fun
See, that came together, though. You don't understand.
No, you don't relate yourself to Duck Hunt.
This is a generational thing. It's Duck Hunt and Super Mario together came onto one cartridge.
Yeah, one cart.
But my point is this. I didn't have to download Duck Hunt to play it. You guys are such an instant gratification entitled generation, and I feel like that me handing it down to that generation, I'm just not ready to do that yet until you prove something to me. Not because your mama said you're the best and your daddy was like, you can do it, kid, but because you actually go out there and prove it with grit like the Cali man did.
Oh, I prove it with grit. I worked harder than anyone on the indie scene right now. Any younger generation, I worked harder. No, it ain't no ego.
That big ego we're talking about.
It ain't no ego. It's knowing facts. I have done more than anybody, mostly all the older wrestlers as well. I've done my own shows. I've ran my own shows. I promoted my own events. So,
hey, who'd you book for that show?
Me. I booked me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, against
I think I was
Cali Man.
Yeah,
how much did you pay yourself?
Myself? No, I did it for free.
No, yeah, you don't make money promoting shows. Asking, you know.
No, I work hard for what I do. No. Mr. Personality is a man of his word, and I told myself when I was a little kid that I will work hard, I will do whatever it takes to get to the top spot, and that's what I'm doing now.
We could have been the best tag team in the business if you think about it.
Yeah. Why
well, we went wrong? In a few places, we tried the tag thing out. Yeah. Let's face it.
He always messes it up.
We were tag team champions a few places, and it just
was Kelly's ego too big?
Kelly's ego.
I that might have had something to do with it. But no, I just think it's a matter of just, I do whatever it takes to be a champion. And I do it, and I don't make any second excuses about it. Then I do whatever it takes to be a champion. I've already told you that. If I was a baseball pitcher, I'd be spitting on the ball. I'd be putting Vaseline on that thing, whatever it takes to get that fastball a few extra curves and miles per hour.
There you go.
It's going to happen. If I got to cork my bat to get to third.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, then you do what you got to do. Cali Sosa. And like I said, in any sport like that, I'd put horseshoes in my boxing gloves. Whatever it takes to win is my point. And Kelly, he's too young and naive to understand that sometimes that's what you got to do.
I got self-respect.
Self-respect, integrity.
Naive.
Some say naive, some say integrity. We're going to find out Saturday evening which of those personal qualities work out a little bit better. We're about 10 minutes away from giving away another pair to Wrestling Against Cancer number 9. You guys can call right now, 850-215-6290. Still looking for our winner for the first giveaway. Looking for caller number 10. Who is your most hated wrestler of all time? Goldberg. What?
Goldberg.
I can understand. Here's the thing.
Okay.
You're looking at it from a fan's perspective.
Yes.
Here he goes.
I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. Give me a second, kid. See, impatience.
Yeah.
This generation, they can't. They've word vomit before they even have a chance to think.
My nerves.
Here I am, sat back,
bad.
classy.
He needs a
Look,
cigar.
he's jamming around in his weird-looking cow shirt, and I'm just sit back and relaxed and classy. Anyway,
That's a good digital cow camo.
Goldberg.
That's how a real champion dresses. In a suit, nice suit, with the $500 loafers. That's how a real champion dresses.
$100.
I spend my money on other things that cannot be discussed on the air. I have a lot of business
White
ventures.
Broncos.
Yeah, like white. Yeah. But go back to Goldberg, who I have nothing but respect because he made it further than me. He's a bigger superstar than me. Great football player for
but
great. Yeah, I know. Great football player for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
So not like wrestling was his first choice. Wrestling was never a passion for him, like we were talking about there. It was just something where when his football career ended because of an injury, that he could go and use his athleticism to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that part of it. Where I agree with the kid on is he was dangerous. You're supposed to, you try to go out there and beat your opponent, and you really do. And like I said, there's some guys out there that are like, break the kid's legs.
Yeah.
And you don't do that. Because you still want this kid to be able to go make money in other towns, even though I hate his guts and I'm going to beat him for the championship. I still want him to go make money and continue his career. I'm not trying to take his career away from him.
Callie's the guy that works with the guy that makes money.
Yeah. Hey, I make that money too, as long as I'm under the same card as him. But anyway, I'm not going to injure the kid to the point where he can't make his next town.
Just a few toes or something.
It's called a professional courtesy. It's almost like if you hit a ball in baseball and you hit the pitcher right in the head with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I'm running home.
You're gonna, yeah. I mean, you are, but you're gonna go show concern. You're not trying to.
After I cross home plate.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna take the win. But at the same time, I'm not going to try to ruin that pitcher's career and never let him pitch again.
Yeah.
Possibly end his career. That's not what your goal is not to do that. And I felt like Goldberg ignored that part of the goal because he would kick guys in the head like he did Bret the Hitman Hart, a legend, ended his career.
Yeah. Goldberg is responsible for the...
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And then he also
super kick.
He also broke Haku's neck, who was a big-time guy from the Samoan family, and he never really fully got back from that. And there's just a few things he's done and here and there of hurting people that shows he's not really unprofessional. I can see why you hate him so much.
I love learning stuff and learning, seriously, and learning that. That's a pretty fun fact. That's a fun fact for me. Let's say favorite female wrestler of all time.
Favorite female wrestler.
I mean, we go back to the Attitude Era.
The Cali Mans. I know Cali's got a few of them. He's got a list. But I'm going to say Quadzilla T Gaines.
Okay, all right.
Local lady.
Yeah, she'll be there at Wrestling Against Cancer 9 as well in a tag match. What about for you, Cali Man?
Well, I don't respect women's wrestling. I don't respect a lot of women.
I'm trying so hard to keep it together, my man.
I hope his wife ain't listening to this.
No, I respect her. She knows that. If there's anybody who can beat the Cali Man, ego and check, it's my wife.
The Cali lady?
Yeah.
That's why
I'm the Cali cook at home. I don't see my cooking channel, but...
That's why she pushed you to come today, because she didn't want to be around you.
Hashtag cooking with the Cali Man. A little plug there for me. I do. On my Facebook, I cook. I'm a chef, man. I'm not some kid ordering for McDonald's every weekend here. I'm cooking.
The body shape speaks for
but
us.
But that being said, it might be one big ab, but it's a hard ab.
It's a hard ab, just like big heart, big ab.
Big ab, yeah, big old heart. But either way, I don't. There's not any good women wrestlers.
All right.
That's my answer.
All right. There we go. What about for you, Jack?
Favorite women wrestler? I would have to say, I'm going old school here. And I'm going to say...
Sable.
I like Bambi. Bambi back in the 80s.
The Dollhouse?
No, not the Dollhouse. Bambi and Peggy Lee Leather had a lot of good matches.
There you go.
Matter of fact, I've been in a mixed tag match with me and Peggy Lee tagged against Little Bear and Bambi years ago.
There you go.
And
now with that mixed tag match, was it allowed? Like, were you allowed to wrestle the woman as well, or did it have to be woman and woman in the ring at the same time?
It's supposed to have been woman and woman, but at the time I had a little ego problem like Cali Man did over here.
Couldn't help himself.
But I couldn't help myself. I was young and dumb like he is right now. But so I've done some broken rules
Cali
too.
Man?
I broke some rules before too, but I always had respect for people when I beat them.
I mean, I understand that.
Anything for the gold? Is it anything for the gold?
Anything for the gold?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of tag belts, and I had a lot of championships.
Well, yeah, would you do anything to win them, though?
Oh, yeah. I pinned them.
He pinned them.
After you hit him with brass knuckles or something, knuckle dustered him.
No. Yeah. Me and Cobra were one of the best tag teams in this area.
Yeah, I agree.
And we won we won 12 WIW tag team championships.
Yeah.
You know WIW.
Yeah, I must say they were a great tag team. And Cobra's actually the guy who, when he passed, I got this belt. Pretty much, I was gonna beat him anyway. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Let's get that out of the way. That's a done deal. And I definitely could beat him now.
You think you can wrestle ghosts?
Well, I mean, hey, I'm not necessarily a certified Ghostbuster.
There you go.
But a Ghost Duster, I could be.
A Ghost Duster. Who are you going to call? Cali Man, the Ghost Duster. Oh, let's see. Which wrestler would y'all say has the best theme song?
Go ahead, Cali. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a tough one. You got to give me some. What about you?
What about you,
Me?
Jackie?
Well, he's not really wrestling now, but I think Triple H. He was one of my all-time favorites.
Fits his character.
Which one, though? The Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
I think it's time to play the game one.
Yeah. Triple H, the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the Hunter Hearst Helmsley one.
Motorhead, when he comes out with Motorhead.
Yeah.
I always dug Ravishing Rick Rude's theme. I felt his character very well. It's that kind of like raunchy 80s stripper theme, and he had the mustache and would come out there and grind and stuff.
What? What is he talking about?
That's why.
Can you say that on
Cut
there?
his mic.
PG-13. PG-13.
Okay, that's cool.
That's why you stole his gimmick.
I didn't. If anything, he stole it from me.
What?
You for real? That man was around before you was even born.
You guys just don't get the way time works with the Cali Man.
Hey, Jimmy,
time revolves. It literally revolves around the Cali Man.
Jimmy Fallon had an amazing song, the Boogie Woogie Man.
The Boogie Woogie Man.
It fit his character very well.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
How do you guys pick your theme song out? How does that process go?
Mine's custom made.
Custom made. Did you make it yourself?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
I'm not that talented.
Yeah.
No, I had one of the people that I know personally. He made it for me.
There you go.
What's the title of it? Do you know?
The title of it, Kelly Clark's theme song.
Kelly Clark's theme
That's
song.
catchy.
Yeah, it is.
I am stomping my foot and slapping my thigh right now to the rhythm of that. Of course, me being from California, it was very easy to pick California Love by Tupac.
Yeah.
And it's a good, everybody knows it. It's a very popular song. So when they hit it and you hear the California Love part, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting the best. Tupac was the best in his day. Cali's the man's the best in his day. Tupac took a little bit of my style in the 90s, but I let him slide for it.
You let him slide for it?
I let him slide.
You weren't hanging out with Suge Knight?
No, he hung me out a window once.
Oh, really?
That was a wild time.
I'm sure that was a wild time back in the day. Did you escape with your Ford Bronco in a low-speed police chase?
Luckily, much like older movies, I fell into a truck of pillows that just happened to be going by. It was a pillow truck going to the factory, so I survived.
Man, so not only are
the window is only one story from the ground, so that helps.
That does help a little bit. That does help a little bit, but still, it was the moving truck with the pillows in the back. That's
And the guy just said he was Suge Knight. I don't know. There's no 100% sure if that was Suge Knight.
Yeah, it was Mike Faison.
Mr. Handle that. Jackie, what about you? What's your theme? You're a wrestling fan just like the rest of us?
You already answered
it. Theme?
Triple H, that's right.
Yeah, Triple H.
Keep up, Jackie.
Yeah, I got you.
What was your theme song, Jack?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. My bad.
Well, depending on what character I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about Mr. I.
Mr. I?
Oh, yeah, then I'm going to ask
Irresistible.
you guys.
I've had a couple when I was doing Mr. I. One of them was too fly for a white guy.
That's the one I was thinking of.
And I'm too sexy.
Yeah, for your shirt.
For my shirt. Yeah.
Right said Fred for you younger audience.
That's an old school song, by the way.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
I do. No. Listen, I love stuff from the 80s. I love stuff from the 70s. One of my favorite wrestlers is Gorgeous George. As I said that before, the last time I was on here. My favorite band is Guns N' Roses, so I'm a very fan of the old days.
Yeah. You and your 80s glam rock.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Hey, he looks like
80s was the best music.
You do.
I get told I look like...
No, 80s was not the best music.
80s was the best music.
Arguably, the 60s have a go, but the 70s by far is the best decade in music.
Well, I was born in the 70s.
Bone Crusher's got to chime in on this, being that he's in rock radio.
Oh, yeah. Well, the late 80s was the heyday, glory day, decade of decadence, man.
That poppy,
Motley Crue,
poppy
we had
rock.
Ronald Reagan, we had cocaine. It was great.
poppy rock. I don't mind that last thing. But the pop rock thing,
rock and roll achieved perfection in the late 1970s. That's a scientific fact.
Yes, thank you very much. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the 80s wasn't great, but you're talking about Led Zeppelin in the 70s.
Disturbed's a pretty good band.
How you going? Disturbed. Oh my God!
Good.
Make him leave the studio.
I'm.
What about you? Yeah, you haven't chimed in.
Partial to that. Partial to Disturbed, just because they had when I lived in Tampa, the Tampa Bay Lightning would come out to the Disturbed theme song. So
that's personal. I understand that.
Exactly.
I respect that.
So a little nostalgia.
This kid wasn't even alive in the 80s, and he's saying, "Oh, the 80s are the best mess." That's his sound. That sound of his voice, by the way. Kids couldn't tell.
As I said before, I'm a man of the truth. I call it how I see it.
Call it how he sees it.
There was Journey, Bon Jovi. Them were all good groups.
Fake bands.
Fake bands.
Man, they were some of the best in the 80s.
Okay, name the guitar player for Bon Jovi since he was so great.
The guitar player?
Yeah.
I didn't keep up with him.
Oh, thank you. I know you know it.
I like the music. But I don't know his name.
Well, I
know Bon Jovi. He's a leader.
Yeah, but then you sit there and you're like, hey, can I name all 4 of the Beatles? I bet you can, because all 4 of them were great musicians. It wasn't just John Bon Jovi with his big puffy hair out to here. It's Ringo banging the drums. It's John Lennon with his good banjo chords.
Poison was good too.
Oh my.
Hey, I'm sure Bone Crusher's kind of enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, I want to
they're all in my wheelhouse. Every one of these bands are pretty good, actually. Yeah,
every one of them.
At least you know the guitar player for Bon Jovi,
Richie Sambora.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
They're feuding right now. He's not in the band.
Good.
At the moment.
I hope the band never gets back. I'm going to say this on the air. Quit, Bon Jovi. It's over with. Your time was minimal at best, and you're wanted dead, not alive at this point.
Def
so
Leppard.
Stay away.
What about Def Leppard?
I'm glad they're deaf. I wish I was deaf every time they came on the radio. Once you Armageddon that, huh? I know their songs. I know everything about Def Leppard. I know they got the one-armed drummer. I can drum better with no legs.
No bass drum at all. Just coming in, Cali Man with a snare and the hi-hat. We're going to keep it rolling right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's going to be our final segment of the week. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. We've got your chance to win 2 free tickets to Wrestling Against Cancer number 9.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Chop on Braves fans.
Fire in the hole! It's a grand slam!
Our next broadcast is tonight. The Atlanta Braves kick off a series with the Cleveland Guardians. Coverage starts at 6. First pitch at 6:20 on your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. It's ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Spring has sprung. Vacations are next. At that boot store, you can dress the whole family from the youngest to the oldest with high-quality clothing at fantastic prices and look great wherever you travel. No time for vacations? Not to worry. That boot store offers high-quality Carhartt work clothes at affordable prices, too. Shop That Boot Store, celebrating 60 years in business. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 until 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store, where God is good all the time.
Questionable calls all over the NFL this year.
On the field.
Quantify to put a value on momentum. You can't do that.
And in your radio.
Hashtag NFL rig.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back into the doghouse. This is the Afternoon Underdogs here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm David Hayes along with the Bone Crusher, and we've got special guests in the building with us, Jack Patterson, Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality, and the Cali Man, and we are going to be at Wrestling Against Cancer 9 tomorrow evening, Bay Haven Charter Academy. Doors opening at 5:30, and the bell rings at 6. All proceeds, or 6:30. All proceeds go to Jaden's medical expenses, which is why the second reason why you guys should get out there. The first reason, obviously, come see the Cali Man. This is a far cry from 3 years ago, right? You know, we're on the same team. I might have to interfere in some matches tomorrow night, Jack. But yeah, Wrestling Against Cancer number 9 tomorrow night. There's going to be a lot of great matches. It's going to be a great time, and it's going to be, more importantly, honestly, most importantly, for a great cause to help out Jaden with his medical expenses. He's 16 years old. Just found out about, entered into remission, but still a lot of medical bills are going to continue to roll in, and still a process after that. You know, Jack, the first time that I ever had the opportunity to come out and help out at Wrestling Against Cancer 9, I didn't have many people in my family or immediate circle dealing with cancer or being diagnosed with cancer. And here in this past year, it's escalated very tremendously, honestly. And, one of our very own right here, Ryan Mulvey, dealing with astrocytoma. My cousin dealing with some cancer that he just found out about as well. And, it's a ugly thing. The closer you get to it, the uglier that it gets. And I'm very thankful to be able to help you out in any way, even if it's just talking here on the radio, announcing, being the ring announcer for your event. I'm appreciative of that, just because it's kind of started to touch home a little bit more. And it's an ugly thing. I hate it for anyone who has to deal with it, especially personally. But those are some of the strongest people that I have ever met in my life, are cancer, not just survivors, but the fighters as well. What they have to go through day in and day out. And I'm not being mean here, but it puts everything else. I mean, Jack, what you were dealing with just a couple of years ago with your lungs and everything. I know that that's not necessarily cancer, but still, you're fighting against something. You're fighting for your life, and that is something that I look up to, man. That is it's inspirational. Absolutely. We do have Ron on the line. Ron, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I believe you just won 2 tickets to Wrestling Against Cancer.
I guess I did. That sounds pretty good to me.
Hey, yes, sir. It's going to be at Bay Haven Charter Academy. Tell me, who was your favorite wrestler currently or growing up?
You know, I am an old WTVY guy. I don't know. But I'm one of your people. Well, no, he's old enough to know it, but he probably doesn't know. We had 4 channels, and we had Bob Armstrong.
Yeah, everybody knows Bob.
Yeah,
I, the Cali Man, have wrestled and teamed with Bullet Bob Armstrong, and let me tell you something.
Let me just tell you,
Ron, I used to stomp him all around the ring.
I have been cleaning fish out here today and listening to you guys, and I have just been laughing like you wouldn't believe. So I had to call. Love the tickets. We'll go out there. Wanted to say that I really appreciate what you're doing for these young men. I guess it was 2 weekends ago. We had a guy named Morgan Black that he put on a fundraiser for a guy who had got hit by a car in Southport. I believe he was 14, 16 years old. And, man, medical bills are just, they're crazy, and people need help.
And that's even if you have health insurance.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Anything that we can do for these situations, I'm always for it. You know, if we will have people call us and be like, hey, can we put a PSA up? Absolutely. It's not even a second thought at that point, because I know that if I was in the position, I would accept any help that I could. Now, then again, on the flip side of that, there's that pride thing. You know what I'm saying? Of like not wanting to accept the help, and so I know that it's a double-edged sword for some of the folks out there. But still, like I said, man, it's anyone who's dealing with anything that they're fighting for their life for is it's inspirational to me, and I'm sure the majority of America as well.
I agree.
Well, Ron, thank you so much for your call. Yeah, what you got, Jack?
When you come to tomorrow night to the show, your name would be down, and you just tell them your name so you can come in.
I appreciate it. Actually, and I want to throw this out. My nephew, Bodie Bartlett, actually wrestles for North Bay Haven there. So,
Bodie O'Hara.
You talking about Buddy O'Hara?
No, Bodie.
He said school wrestling.
Barlow, and he's actually a high school wrestler. He's not a professional wrestler.
Well, you tell him if he shows up and he gets cocky, the Cali man's gonna show him a little bit of pro style.
He might blow back. I'm not sure.
Hey, that's cool. I went to nationals and state. In every category, in every weight class.
every weight class.
Cali knows it all. He's done it all.
Thank you guys very much.
Hey, Ron, we'll see you tomorrow night, man. Looking forward to it. Hopefully I can meet up with you and shake your hand because I appreciate that call. And it's been a great time this afternoon having Cali Man, Kelly Clark, Mr. Personality in the building with us. Jack Patterson, as always. The build up to these is always so much fun. Tell us about some of the other matches that you're going to be looking forward to here this week. Or tomorrow. This tomorrow.
We're going to have Hunter Hendricks is coming in versus Bodie O'Hara.
Oh, there you go.
That's going to be a great match. Matter of fact, when Hunter Hendricks hit me up to wrestle on the show, I've never really don't know him because he's new.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I watched some videos of him, so I decided to bring him in.
He's all right. Bodie sucks the big one.
Whoa!
We're gonna have Hollywood Hickman's gonna be there. Silas Brown, Paul Nelsonizer gonna be there.
Nelson's good.
Terrible athlete.
Jules Bradley out of Jacksonville area is gonna be there.
The patriarch of the trailer park.
The patriarch of the trailer park.
Then we're gonna have Caden Hawk there.
Oh boy.
Shane Gibson, Samuel Pendergrass, Preston Veston.
Samuel, just to interrupt there, is actually training at Cody Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Yeah, so he's making big strides in the business.
Is that Sam Phoenix?
Samuel Pendragon.
Okay.
Pendragon, yeah.
Gotcha.
Pendragon, Samuel Pendragon. And Spider is going to be there, and Chuck Diamond's supposed to be there.
He's a big old fat guy, Chuck Diamond.
He's a big old
He's a big old boy. But I love him. Uncle Chuck.
That's Uncle Chuck.
And Donnie B is going to be there.
Oh, boy.
Mr. 850.
Hey, you don't like him because he trains you.
Can you?
And he's better.
Washed up is a term that's been used a lot. But, boy, oh, boy.
Washed
up. He's running a horse farm or something now. What's he even doing? What he's got to, I guess he got to feed him a bag of carrots and head down to the Wrestling Against Cancer show and go be somebody else.
He's coming from Tennessee.
Yeah, where's horse?
Donate
he's
his
a horse
time.
farm.
Hey,
he runs a horse farm up there.
I hear you.
What's he dropping leg drops on the horses out on the farms? Is that how he's training for this show?
Kerry Von
He ain't training like the Cali man.
Kerry and Kevin, they did it.
Oh yeah, they turned out great.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, we got about 5 minutes left in the show, my men. What does the show mean to you personally? And I'll let whoever wants to go first with that.
So recently, the reason I love these shows is recently my mama, we found out that she has cancerous cells. I don't know exactly. We haven't got the full test yet, but I feel like this means a lot to me for that reason that my mama's could have cancer. So this very personal reason.
I did not know that. To be honest, this is a shock, I think, to probably everybody in the business. We keep some wrestlers as athletes. Mm-hmm. We have somewhat camaraderie, but some things we keep close to the chest. Do we know what kind? Or is
no, we don't know what kind yet.
No stage or nothing like that. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just devastating to hear. Especially, I know I was your hero, man, and I know it was exactly what you expected when you met me and when we wrestle each other and things. But as your hero and as a man who's always supported Wrestling Against Cancer, from my heart to you, of course, I want to say that after hearing that I am now changing my stance and for cancer. I'm no longer against it. So,
yeah.
Whoa, hold on now, Jack.
And if it's bone cancer, I can give your mom a bone if that's what she needs. Sit down, kid. But it's just a radio show. Just take it easy. Listen, I talk about whatever I want.
One thing, tomorrow I'm going to put the beat down of your life. You're old, you're out of shape, you got a bad knee. You ain't going to talk about my mama.
Bad knee? Well, if I had a bad knee, I guess I couldn't stand up myself then, could I?
Yeah, you had trouble doing it.
We went from wrestling against cancer to wrestling for cancer.
You're probably going to give me like
Hey, y'all get over here so...
I'm going to take that title off of your waist.
Y'all get over here so I can see it. We've got Callie and Kelly beefing in the studio.
What are you going to do? Come on, pal. I'll save you, pal. You got me? Hey, the champion doesn't need this. You understand? The champion paid me a lot of money to be here. and I'm leaving. I don't have to have this kind of treatment.
Go ahead.
I'm taking that case of water out there with me.
I'm just happy that this time you can have 2 waters, but no more than that. No more than that. All right, guys. Hey, last time we almost had the police come. I don't want to have to deal with that situation again. And Callie is lucky that there's no tables that we can break right here, because that really ticked me off, Jack. That really ticked me off, because I'm going to be over there doing the announcing, and now Kelly's walking out on the set when we're supposed to be sitting here talking about Wrestling Against Cancer 9, and we spend the first few minutes of this daggum segment, and we're talking about how wrestling against cancer, and then Callie wants to get all disrespectful after I've befriended him all afternoon on this show, right? I feel like I was very good in being nice to him this afternoon after some of our past troubles that we've had amongst ourselves, and then he wants to go from wrestling against cancer to wrestling for cancer, and then throwing jabs at the Mr. Personality about his mom and her cancer, and then even going on as far as to say that he'll give his mom a bone for her cancer. I mean, just absolutely the utmost disrespect that I've ever seen inside of these 4 walls.
I threw him out of here. He's out.
He's out of here?
Well, I don't. The bone crusher.
Jack, I don't know if we can have him back here. That's his second outburst. He said that he's been working on himself. He says that he's been going to therapy and all of that good stuff. Now, he said he's his own therapist, so I guess that has something to do with it. But yeah, I don't know if we can allow you to continue to bring Cali Man back up into this station. Now, it's your call because this is your promotion. But yeah, Jack, he's just a little off the rails, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed about him, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
I just don't understand why he was stooped that low. I knew he was low, but I didn't know he was going to stoop that low.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm going to come up with something for him tomorrow night. He's going to come up. I'm going to come up with something for him that he ain't going to like it.
I say we take every wrestler in the promotion and all just jump them at that point in time. Me and you even get some licks in. How's that? Bone Crusher's going to drive over with the van and run him over. The ESPN van.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just embarrassed by him. Yeah. But y'all come out and see this tomorrow night, though. It's going to be a great match, but it got out of hand here.
It did. So imagine what's going to happen in the ring.
Yeah, imagine. I don't know if I should have booked these 2 against each other or not.
I know.
But
I think it's gonna be a great match. I think it's the perfect match. Jack, you did a great job.
There might be some real blood though. There might be a low speed.
There's blood in the hallway.
Yeah. Did he get Kelly?
No, I got him.
Oh, okay. Bone Crusher crushing skulls.
We dragged him out of here.
Man, well,
help me.
Tomorrow night, Wrestling Against Cancer, the 9th edition, Bay Haven Charter Academy. Tickets are only $12. Kids 6 through 17 get in for $8. 5 and under get in free. Guys, please, if you listen to ESPN Northwest Florida on a regular basis, come out there and support the show, support Jaden and his medical expenses, and let's pack that place out. Bay Haven Charter Academy would love to see that place packed out. Jack would love to see it packed out, and ESPN Northwest Florida would love to see it packed out. Y'all have a great weekend. Join us tomorrow, Bay Haven Charter Academy. Just remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up.